I felt like this was a major milestone that a lot of people weren't noticing, so yeah, I'm going to talk about it today. The Model 3 in the state of California outsold every other vehicle in Q1 of 2020. This has never happened before. It even beat out the Honda Civic, which is under $20,000. I think this says a lot about electric vehicles and a lot about the demand for Tesla. So first off, let me just say California, you may just think of it as, well, that's one state. It's not a country or anything, but California has more people in it than the country or continent of Australia. It has more people in it than the whole country of Canada. It's the most densely populated state in the United States, and yes, its climate makes it very EV friendly because it doesn't get super cold. There's not a ton of snow compared to other states, I know, but just the fact alone that an electric vehicle that, starts at around $38,000, a lot of the people paying for the dual motors or performance versions are spending well over $50,000 on this car. More people were doing that in Q1 of 2020 than they were shelling out money for, $18,000 Honda Civics. Granted, it was a slim margin. It only beat out the Honda Civic by 855 vehicles, but still, I think that says a lot about the average consumer and what people are willing to stretch their budget for if they know they don't have to spend money on gas. I also think this is hugely evident of the power of word of mouth, because any California resident can attest, Teslas are fairly common in this state. You see them all over the place, and because Tesla doesn't spend much money on advertising, pretty much the only way people get convinced or hooked on the idea that they want a Model 3 or a Tesla is by trying one out themselves, either doing a test drive or hearing about a friend who got one. I know how that's definitely how I caught the fever. Me and my friends rented one a couple years back, and after I experienced it firsthand, that definitely convinced me that this was a big part of our future. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding Tesla too, especially when it comes to, well, this interior is way too minimal, it looks way too basic, or customers are unhappy with the quality control, and a lot of that is true, but I think the truth is consumers are picking up on what the future of automobiles is going to be and what they prefer. Similar to how our phones used to have a lot more buttons than they used to, and that we've kind of adopted this dynamic user interface of a touchscreen, and the Model 3 is kind of one of the first vehicles to grasp that idea that, hey, we don't need knobs and dials and to follow basic trends of what cars have been in the past. We can just embrace the future, look at what changes have come to computers and phones, and bring that to the car experience, because auto companies move very, very slowly, and people don't buy new cars as often as they buy new phones, so we need to be ahead of the curve, be investing tons of money into software, and that can result in a product that people really, truly enjoy buying. When it comes to the luxury segment of sedans, of course, the Model 3 is capturing a huge demographic, because if you can make a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 car outsell a Honda Civic, then yeah, you're also going to outsell the cars that run on gasoline that also cost $40,000, $50,000. So the BMW 3 Series is not able to keep up in Q1 of 2020, and this may have a lot to be with, the pandemic a little bit setting in, but I feel like it didn't really hit the US until end of March, and this is reflecting Q1, so January through March of 2020. The numbers may absolutely be different and more reflective of the pandemic once we get into Q2, and we'll know for sure by then, but Q1 is known for being seasonably weak for the entire auto industry, and Tesla was still able to turn a profit in Q1. That's their third consecutive quarter in a row. And seeing how Tesla is able to pull these numbers even with the prices of the Model 3 as it stands today, which a lot of people think, it could get lower as we're hearing about Battery Investor Day and scaling battery production. A lot of us are waiting for Model 3 prices to drop even more than they already have, but just knowing that they're outselling gas cars even when they cost so much more than them, I think is evident of how Tesla is going to dominate the market in the future once battery production gets cheaper, which it's rumored to in the next few years, and that means that 5 years from now, imagine how well Teslas are going to be selling if they can match the prices of gas cars, or if they scale battery production properly and efficiently enough, they could start pricing them below the price of their competitors. And that's not even factoring in the cost of ownership, the fact that you don't have to fill that car up with gas. And of course, it has all these autonomy features that they can sell to the consumer over the life of the car, whether they want to buy acceleration boosts or premium connectivity, full self-driving, of course, being the big one. I think the future is looking very, very bright, and Q1 of 2020 is a big milestone because it showcased a time in a very large market, because California, while it may just be one of the 50 states, it's the most populated one, and it has a population much higher than a lot of huge countries. If that state, the best-selling vehicle, is an electric one, it shows what consumers are leaning towards and what people are going to be more comfortable with in the future. And of course, that word of mouth is quite powerful. In other states where not that many people own Teslas, word of mouth won't be that effective, unless, of course, you're online watching these types of videos videos. But I'd love to hear more about what you guys think of the Model 3 outselling every other vehicle in California by hitting me up over on Twitter. Join my Discord. We can chat more about it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.